Hello, happy Monday. I'm just looking to see. Hi, everybody. I guess I'm maybe a minute late. Sorry about that. Watching a trial again. I get so wrapped up in these trials, and we're trying to catch up on this one because I believe the verdict has been reached. So we're trying to catch up before we see what the verdict is. All right. So, oh shoot, you know what? I forgot to print out my list. But I did post all the measurements. Hi Crystal. Welcome. And I know I do the mystery card a little differently. A lot of the mystery card videos are done where you don't see the card until we go through all the clues, but I like to create it right along with you. And just as a reminder, you can join my mystery card Monday group. Emma, maybe you can post hey Sharon, maybe you could post the link to the group in here. And if you create the card and post it by Friday, I always pick a random winner and send them either designer series paper, or I send um, a stamp set. So make sure you get your cards posted by Friday. So our clues were an 8.5 by 5.5 sheet, and we're going to score this at 4.25. So let me do that now before we go on. And hopefully, Sharon, I have all the right sizes. So if I made a mistake, pull out that trimmer. Okay. Then I said use a second coordinating cardstock and cut it at 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. I think this is right. Yep. And I decided to use rose gold, and man, that's really crazy. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Karen. Oh, congratulations to your daughter, Karen. So I picked rose gold foil. And then I said designer series paper 5.25 by 4. And I'm using the text. I think this was the texture chic. I don't think I have the package to it anymore, but it was left over from before it retired. And then in the color B cardstock, again, I used the foil, and I wanted you to cut a piece 3.25 by 3.25. And then a basic white 3 1/8 by 3 1/8. Then you needed a color number 1 cardstock, 1 7/8 by 1 7/8. And then designer series paper, 1 inch by 1 inch. 5 pieces. Now I picked all the same. Oops, and I'm off the camera. I'm going to use the polka dots for the big layer, and I'm going to turn it over and use this side for my card. But you don't have to. I bet you are due. And could you do me a favor and post the link to the mystery card group for me. So like I said, I'm using the other side to this for my 1x1 pieces. Then for the inside, we have a 5 3/8 by 4 1/8, a 5 1/4 by 4, and then another designer series paper 1/2 by 4. I also said to cut out a piece for your sentiment. You do not necessarily have to use this side. I'm actually going to use my double oval punch because you guys know how much I love it. And we also need a little tiny basic white square. And this one measures 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. Okay? Hey, Mimi Cakes. Okay. So let's get started. We're going to just put this aside. So our first step is to score and fold our 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, and the score is at 4 1/4. This card, my card that I'm creating, is going to be portrait. You can do it landscape, but you have to remember with your designer series paper, decide which layout you're going to do first if you're using a designer series paper that has a pattern. Okay? This one doesn't matter. I can turn it either way and it will still be okay. But if I was to choose, let's see, a pattern, let's see if we have something here. Oh, maybe not. This one wouldn't matter either, but it would be the difference between this or this. Okay? So you just have to think about which way you're going to go. And I'm going to go this way. So our first step is to adhere our color 2 to the front of our card. And as I said, I'm using rose gold. So I'm going to use some glue. And I'm going to adhere this right to the front of the card. Okay. Then we're going to take our designer series paper and we're going to adhere that to the front of our card. And you want to just make sure you have it on here so it's pretty centered. Okay, so there is the front so far. So let's just move that over. Our next step is to grab our basic white piece that measures 3 1/8 by 3 1/8, and we're going to grab our little square of our first color, which is 1 7/8 by 1 7/8, and we're going to adhere it to this square. And I'm going to put mine down here at the bottom. So I'm going to use some glue. And you do want to leave a little bit of a border. So if you leave some here, you want to leave about the same on this side. So I'm just going to stick mine there. Make sure, yep. All right. So you can either have it in the bottom left, or you can have it in the top right, or the bottom right or the top left. It's up to you. So I am going to put mine down here on the bottom. Now we're going to grab these 5 little 1 by 1 inch pieces. Now this, you'll notice that there are lines, and those are the shells. And I actually cut it. There's one. I don't think they match. Nope, they don't. And we're going to take these little 1 inch pieces and we are going to put them in the space that we have here. So I'm just going to add one down here. And I want it to at least be pretty even with that cardstock. Okay. And let's use this one. And I'm actually going to jump up to this corner here. I'm going to see if I can't get it pretty straight. And using glue on this part is ideal because you just have the little time to move it around. And then I'm going to put the one, and it's going to be too big, so I'm going to trim this one. I altered it a little bit because I didn't like the way it looked. So you may have to cut and alter your piece for the center. I should have taken a little bit off of these, because what I did was I actually had all my pieces and I just thought they were too big, and I ended up making these 1/8 of an inch smaller, and I forgot to change the size of these. So I'm going to have to do it on this one too. So when you're making your card, if you want all your squares to be the same, I would do them, instead of 1 inch, do 7/8 by 7/8. Yeah, it looks crazy, right? It's from the light. All right. So yeah, I would make them 7/8 by 7/8. So that might be an something you make note of, because I put 1 inch by 1 inch. And so let me just cut this down. Just see. Yep, about 7/8 would be perfect. See, that's why we always have a trimmer on hand. Whoops, it shifted. A little bit more. Just a hair. I hate working with these teeny tiny little pieces. So today we were outside and I had to run over to our Amish neighbor because one of the cows escaped today, and it was in the wrong field, and all the other cows were watching it over the fence. It was so cute. Okay, so like I said, change these 7/8 by 7/8. Now we're going to pull in our little basic white, and it is 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. And you're going to stamp an image on here, whatever image you want. I decided to pull the cupcake out of the circle of sayings, and I didn't even decide what color to stamp it in. Let's see. Maybe we'll do coral. Let me just see how this looks. Yep, Calypso Coral it is. So I am going to ink it up, and I'm going to put my cupcake right in the center. Just like that. Now would be the time to color if you are going to color up your image. Okay, so I am going to take, this is Stampin' Up! 900, and if you were in the group, the circle sayings, here's the cupcake right here. So I'm going to grab my SU 900, and you'll remember, if you saw, I think I posted in the group the chart for the colors that were marked SU 900. They're in the catalog different. I don't even have my catalog with me, but they're in the catalog different now. Okay, so you want to check that out if you're using these and you have them from before. So that was 900. I'm going to take some 700, and I'm just going to add a little bit of darkness as a shadow down on that cupcake. Now for the cupcake paper, I'm going to use Petal Pink. And this is the light Petal Pink. And I'm going to just color this in quickly with light. I'm going to grab my dark, and I'm going to fill in these little spots right there. But I'm also going to use a darker pink. Let's see what we have here. Is this, nope, that's Petal Pink too. I want to just add a shadow right in there. Let's see, Ivory. Just to make it a little darker. And that's not really dark enough. Okay, and then I'm going to just go down some of these lines. So it looks like there's a little bit of shadow. And across the bottom. All right, so doesn't really look too much different. Now I'm going to grab, let's grab that Calypso Coral. And I am going to color in the frosting. Give it a quick layer. That's light Calypso Coral. This is dark. So now I'm going to add my shadows. So I'm going to add a line under here and here and here. All right. I'm going to go back over with my light Calypso Coral. I'm going to go over the end of what I just colored and just extend it up a little bit. Just to blend that color out. And then I'm going to grab a white, let's see, they're new, so I got to get it started. It's a extra fine water-based ink. We just got to get it activated because I have not used it yet. Come on, little baby. Of course it's not going to work for me. Hi, Fran. Ah, there we go. All right. So now that we have the cupcake with some, I'm going to just do this one more time. This is the light Calypso Coral. I'm going to just go over that one more time because it looks different on the camera. And I'm going to grab the marker and we're just going to add a little bit of white just to highlight it. And these are where the lines are. So you can see there's little lines. Okay, we'll give that a minute to dry. And we got to make this frosting so it has a little bit of shimmer. So let's pull out some clear Wink of Stella. And we're just going to color that cupcake. Okay. So now we're going to add that to this little square right here. I don't really want to use the glue because we may see it through. So I'm going to add some seal. And let's center this right on this piece. All right. So now that piece of white is done. We can pull in, this is color 2. We're going to adhere this, and I'm using glue on the basic white because we have it covered in designer series paper. We're going to layer this up. Let's scoot it down a little bit. All right. Let's pull in our card. Grab some dimensionals. And we're going to pop this layer up right on the front of the card. sure I have it opening the correct way. And I'm going to put it up towards the top. You can put it to the center, you can put it towards the bottom. I'm going to put mine towards the top. Okay. And like I said, I'm going to use my double oval punch. You can use whatever you want for your sentiment. I am going to do my scallop oval in the foil. And of course, we have to have, I think it'll fit, happy birthday. And I'm going to do it in the Calypso Coral. We'll keep it all monochromatic. So let's put our happy birthday. And we're going to adhere this to the foil. Now you can, if you wanted to use that little square that I told you to cut out, the happy birthday should fit on there too. And it will. See? It'll fit on there perfectly. You can cut a mat for this 1/8 of an inch bigger on both sides, and you could use that. I just decided to go a little crazy and use my double oval punch. And I am actually going to put my happy birthday right here, and I'm going to pop it up. And the reason I'm going to shift it over to the right is I'm going to add a bow. So let's add our happy birthday. I have some pale papaya ribbon that I colored with the Petal Pink Dark. And let's just, and this was the end of my roll, so I just took the whole piece off. It's stuck on my finger. Where are my scissors? Here they are. It's still stuck. All right. So you can see here's the pale papaya, and it changed up just a little, ever so slightly. But it matches the cardstock now. My scissors have to be cleaned. So I am going to grab a glue dot. And now at this point you can add your bow. If you want a bow like I'm doing now, you can add some gems or any little decorations that you would like. And there is the front of our card. Okay, for the inside, I made it simple. And I believe I added the measurements. I just did a 4 by 1/2 inch piece of designer series paper. And we're going to add some glue. And we're going to add this right to the bottom. And I'm just going to hold it up and push it down so it's flush with the edge. It looks like it's pretty straight. I'm just going to grab my scissors. You can do it on your cutter. I'm just going to trim off this extra little piece. Grab our seal. Now, if you're a little worried about your seal and not being able to get your card on straight, you can put your seal on this layer and then add a bead of glue so it won't stick down so quickly on you, okay? You'll have a little bit of time to move it around. So just a very simple inside. And there we go. Just a quick and easy, fancy little birthday card. Okay. Hey, Linda. Oh, thank you. Oh, I certainly can. They're very simple. I'll, what's today? Today's Monday. I will do one for you guys. The bows are pretty simple. All right. So I will do that. So there you go. Thanks for joining me, ladies. I'll have the complete clues and I will alter the size of these pieces so you don't have to have an odd man out, okay? But there we go. So thanks for joining me. Again, if you post your card, you're recutting your 1-inch squares. Sorry, Sharon. That's why I always say I always add my trimmer. It happens every time. So post your cards in the group by Friday evening, and I'll pick a winner. And like I said, I'll send either designer series paper or a stamp set. You are welcome, honey. Have a great night, everybody, and I'll see you Thursday night for our class. Not sure what we're going to do yet. Have a great night, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.